Till one day police didn't come on my door. I said, like, mate, what are you doing? I said, like, what's wrong? He's like, police, because it's heavily regulated in Australia, private investigations. And the police issued a license. So, of course, they know my mobile number where I live.
That's it. Yeah. Well, that's good marketing. I mean, that's how you know you're doing. That's how you know you're doing your
Look,
job right.
it was, but I said, what am I doing wrong? I mean, you can't just walk in your toilet. So, I spoke with that detective. He says to me, listen, why don't you go into corporate world? And I say, yeah, that's a good idea instead of being the PI. And he says to me, just call, insurance companies, call this one. So what I did, eventually I called everybody and nobody wanted to see me because they have a current providers. They have the, people who speak English properly, and list goes on. And eventually, just by chance, I was like, life always provides you in the right moment. Just by chance, I was talking to somebody. He says, I'd like to introduce to a friend of mine. He's the head of the claims.
Okay.
And I said, okay. And anyway, gentleman agreed that I meet his team. And I said, okay. And I went for the lunch. It was a 6 of them.
6. No
Six. And I
pressure.
was Mario only. And at that stage, Jeremy, there's no lies. It's even my book. And I always say to this very loud. I had $20 in my pocket. So how are you gonna feed 7 people? I say to everybody, I'm gonna have the glass of water. So I was looking, yeah, and they're so proud and they're very happy. I told them, I just wanted one case. And if I'm bad, I want you to tell everybody not to hire me. And everybody's like,
Wow.
oh, it was a big words, right? And the guy says to
Mhm.
me, nobody talks this way on a business meetings. I say, I'm telling you, I just want to have one case. As I was approaching to the end, the bill comes on table, right? And the waiter is waiting, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot my wallet. And the guy look at me, and they look at on the side, and of course my wallet was next to me. He says to me, of course, man, no problem. That very moment, I was so embarrassed because I was expecting going to meet him for coffee only, and I have only $20, so that's
Right.
enough money to get
You were just going
afterwards.
to make it. Yeah.
So he called me following day. He says to me, where is your office? And I have a very small office, very, very tiny office. He comes and he look at me. He says to me, Mario, you've got 3 cases for you. He brought personally, signed an NDA here and everything, all these things. He said, I'm taking you for lunch. And I said, like, I'm not hungry. He says to me, you pay me when you earn your first money. And I said, you know what I did? He said, I knew you lying. Everybody knew you lying on table because nobody drinks the water, you know what I mean? And we enjoying all the meal.
Yeah.
Um,
And you happen to have forgotten
yeah,
your
and I
wallet.
say I did lie. I apologize. I say I never lied these circumstances. And he says to me that your hunger for the work was stronger than anything else. He said, like, but if you try to pull out how you can transfer the money and all these things, but he said it was so cute, yeah, to see you lying. You forgot the word, but sees the word next to me. And that client, I was started with him, and he eventually, after a few weeks, introduced me to somebody else, and that's how everything started. And even today, when I see that client, I say, I'm still embarrassed today, and he says to me, "It's okay." And I better say the truth to everybody how I lied. I forgot my wallet. You know what I mean? Because I was so grateful for that moment, and that's how it started.